Okay, welcome back. 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 Okay.
I'm gonna try something new this time.
Okay.
Dear
People
of
America.
and
The rest. The
people
world.
Sure.
1 2 3 4 5
A B C D E.
That's one of the best intros we've done so far. Yeah. Okay, welcome to another episode of the Kääpä Brothers. We're keeping it going in English. Brothers. We're keeping it. We're keeping it going in English so that
due to popular demand.
Due to popular demand, that's true. Today's topic is actually a very delicate topic, and that's why we have to, put a little disclaimer at the beginning of this video. It is not for the faint of heart. Let's say that much.
There's nothing gory or graphic what we're going to describe. It's a purely hypothetical or abstract discussion, but the topic is very delicate.
The topic is can also be disturbing. The topic is pedophilia. We're going to talk about pedophilia today, and basically the good things and bad things we're doing about it. I guess we could sum it up that way.
Yeah, and especially as I hope is obvious, but probably needs to be stated clearly, with the goal of reducing it or even optimally eliminating it completely. Of course.
And also another disclaimer, we are not pedophiles. We are not pedophiles, okay? We think this topic is important enough to talk about it. And yeah, it is definitely important enough.
And maybe you'll agree or not at the end of this short, but probably a quite superficial analysis of the subject, but
the data we have is also very minimal, so it is kind of
you're not supposed to come here and learn about the facts of the current state or any comprehensive insight into that.
No.
It's I think it's probably going to be a lot more philosophical in nature, this discussion.
I think so too. Do you have a certain topic, a subtopic, do you want to start with?
Well, probably the main thing that needs to be already done in the beginning is defining terms properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, because in the discussion about pedophilia, it's often just put together or joined together with the word child abuse or child molestation, or child rape,
and these are different things.
Yeah, so pedophilia is we're going to only talk about it's a mental, physical, psychological disorder that you feel attracted towards pre-pubescent children.
Yeah.
So definitely younger than 13 or younger than 11.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we're not probably going to talk about the idea of people finding, especially men finding a very young women attractive or something like that.
No.
This is a completely separate issue, which we don't want to probably get into.
No, I don't. Maybe we will touch upon it a little bit, but I don't think we will.
Maybe if we see some parallels or something, but that's not the main issue here either.
So, as Alex already correctly stated, to be a pedophile is not the same as being a child molester or being a child rapist. Being a pedophile is just the term being attracted to children of these various ages we just defined. The thing is, well, let's just cut right to the chase. Pedophiles, more often than not, at least that is to be assumed, I think, are not acting upon their urges. I don't know if this is a correct comparison. Alex, you may have some thoughts about this. I'll just ask you a question. Do you think it's comparable to say child molesters are in the same way, in the same ratio of occurrences?
As frequent as
normal rapists, as rapists of their own age, people who rape other people of their own age, or do you think
adults?
Do you think
just adults, basically?
Adults, yeah. Or do you think that child molesters are actually more percentage-wise more often or occur more often than normal rapists? Let's just call it like that.
I don't have no idea, actually. I have no idea what the numbers exactly are. I mean, in rape,
that's actually a good point. Yeah.
There's a, I don't know what you call it in English. Dunkelziffer, dark figure.
Yeah.
There's systematic biases in the data collection that we're probably underestimating. Underestimating anything here.
Yeah.
But I think it's sufficiently rare that it's something that you hear about in a similar degree as you hear about rapes, at least in the news or something. I don't know.
Maybe you didn't understand my question completely correct, because I asked it like a complete moron. But basically what I was trying to ask, the ratio between child molesters and pedophiles, do you think it's comparable to the ratio of rapists and normal people?
Okay. Okay, now I understand. Yeah, I completely missed that point. Yeah, well, I might. It may be the case that it's higher due to the substantially larger stigma around the issue.
Yeah.
So, but I know probably a similar degree, but I mean, most people don't rape, and that's probably true also for most pedophiles.
That's what I'm assuming as well, and that's one of the even if it were bigger, significantly bigger, there are still people who are pedophiles who don't act upon it, who admit to themselves that they are sick and desperately want to have help, but are afraid to come out and get help or search for help or get guidance or aid from the community. I think because it is such a stigmatized subject, people always put rapists or child molesters in the same category as pedophiles. Pedophiles and child rapists, again, that's a different thing. People who are pedophiles can be completely normal, well, apart from the pedophile...
functional, at least, yeah.
Functional members of society. Nobody would ever know. And these people would probably never tell anybody either, because they are too afraid of the social, well,
ostracism.
suicide, basically, that they would be making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people. You can almost hear what people would reply to this, and it's kind of. What should we feel sorry for people who have an urge to do something really heinous?
Yeah.
We're under no obligation to help these people in any way, and I would like to remind, if ever that's the thought that occurs to anyone, that it's probably also in their best interest in terms of minimizing occurrences of child rape or molestation.
Yeah.
That there is a suitable way for pedophiles to deal with their disorder.
Yeah. And as I said, it is pretty difficult to get information on this topic because people are afraid to speak out on this topic if they are, if they are themselves pedophiles. And to put it into context, the age of consent, and this is just stating informations. The age of consent information, sorry. The age of consent, the whole concept of age of consent, is pretty young concept, pretty new concept, relatively speaking. It's only about 100 years old, or a little bit more maybe, but it's no older than 200 years. It's way younger than that. And before that, nobody even knew that what they were doing would be such a horrendous thing. The how did they call it? They didn't really take into consideration that the effect of the sexual encounter for a child may have lasting effects on themselves. Yeah.
On the perpetrator, or on the children?
On the children.
And it sounded a bit like.
Yeah, no. Good that you pointed that. No, on the children.
Yeah.
And this is something that society as a whole has come to learn over the last century plus. And
so you wouldn't say that it was always clear that it was harmful.
Well, I don't know exactly. Yeah, I don't have a clear image of how people used to be, but thinking, I guess some people had the thought that it might be bad because some. The thought to introduce the age of consent must have been going on for longer than 100 years now. It must have been a movement that some people saw the necessity to introduce.
Yeah, it probably went hand in hand with rights of children. That's also a pretty new concept.
That actually,
children
that's true.
Deserve their own rights.
Yeah.
They, in the Middle Ages, children were considered almost little demons, or at least they were very susceptible to the works of Satan, and they had to be treated expectedly harshly for that, so that they wouldn't be receiving those demons or something like that. Yeah. Any kind of wrongdoing was severely punished usually.
The Dark Ages were truly dark. Yeah.
It took some time until you actually. I mean, child labor and everything was also not seen as a big that at least not as big issue as it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, slavery was abolished at least in Europe and North America before that.
Yeah. And connecting to this point that the age of consent is not very old at least. The whole new age system of social media which we live in now, this social media age, this has also brought more people to the forefront, who mostly stay anonymous, understandably. These people are only just now recently started talking out about this. So, and have all been met with
not been received well, at least. Yeah.
No, not been received well. Now, to put this whole thing in perspective, if you're a pedophile and you notice that you're a pedophile, this happens when you obviously when you're not a child anymore most of the time.
It would hardly be considered pedophilia before that.
No, yeah, that's true. And most things I've read on the internet, at least, these people have stated that they sought justification in that fact. That okay, yeah, I'm just attracted to people my own age. And then as they grew older, then they noticed, okay, this is not normal. And I need to do something about it, but I don't know what and how. There is no help, and nobody really cares. That's what all of them say. And this is basically us trying to give this whole thing a platform to talk about it, because it is an important topic, I think, because these people do not deserve to be scrutinized if they have done nothing wrong. Now we are back. It's a major technical difficulties. Major. Fucking hell. Okay.
But we solved it because we have a
went from yesterday. Went from
exactly.
The day before yesterday.
Yeah. The day for yesterday.
Alex, you wanted to say something. That's, I think, what we left it at.
Yeah, so you had just finished saying that it's something along the lines of it's not right to treat them badly if they have done nothing wrong. And it is our obligation to help them to function in society without committing the crime, obviously, but also not suffering immensely due to their urges.
Yeah.
And not only because it's in our self-interest in a way, because we could minimize cases thereby. It's probably hard to dispute. It could make up reasons why this would increase the number of cases of child rape and child molestation. I don't know, something like if you have these some get-togethers, then they'll exchange child pornography sites there or something like that. I don't know. So that only if they're in isolation, you can make sure that they won't
attack the kids.
Yeah, spread their information and get so horny that they attack the kids. I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But this is gone. This era where this might have worked, because we have something called the internet, and the internet has hidden layers, the darknet, and I forget the even darker thing. Where child pornography and things like that are routinely shared anyway. So this...
Yeah, and not to completely compare these, but maybe an analogy is if somebody is a sociopath or a psychopath or something like that, technically these people have different values for the human life or for emotions and stuff like that. These people are treated as well, and these people,
because
sociopaths can lead normal lives as well.
Yeah, I mean, usually, I think here's the crucial factor is that it involves children, and we definitely have the view of children as innocent and worthy of protection, but also incapable of consent yet, and everything like that. All these things. So, mean, you can understand why it's never possible in any way to ever act on these urges. For a pedophile, I don't know if in psychopathy, I mean, it doesn't have to end in that you commit a crime per se.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can live out this psychopathy by just being, I don't know, a cutthroat manager in a big business or something like that. I don't know.
Well, some may have. I read this. This is basically from a Reddit Ask Me Anything. There's a pedophile who said, "I'm a pedophile who has been arrested. Ask me anything." If you search for that in Google, you will find it easily. So, I think
arrested because he abused a child.
No. He had never abused a child. What he did was he had been looking at pictures. Well, I don't know. I think only pictures, apparently.
Yeah, but it's still qualifies as porn, I think.
Yeah. That's true. Of course, yeah. And they linked one of those pictures to his IP address, and then they got him. He basically what they did after that was he had at that point when he wrote that AMA, he hadn't been convicted of it yet. I don't know. He said it would probably be nothing in the long run because it's his first offense, so to speak. And they also gave him a phone number to call specialists about this topic. And basically, what he basically said was that they tried to find out if he was a danger to society, and once they found out that he wasn't, by asking various questions, they didn't contact him anymore, and that was it. What the guy wrote in that AMA, what the questions he got was one from a drug addict, and he compared that whole thing to being addicted to heroin or something like that. And he said he doesn't want to do drugs either, and he has problems stopping to do it. He's quit many times, but he keeps doing it, and he says, do not have kids because you don't know what will happen. And the pedophile, he said more or less, I don't think these two situations are comparable because he, in fact, never touched a child or never hurt a child. He never came in contact with a child in that way. So there would be nothing to relapse upon. He has not done anything yet, and he's in his early 20s, and he doesn't see that as a good analogy. And I kind of have to say that I agree with him because he's right. He hasn't done anything yet. Well, one could argue, rightfully I think, that even the consumption of child pornography is harmful. And I think even a person in that AMA had been abused and had been made into child pornography. Well, her pictures of her masturbating as a 12-year-old have been made and have been circulating in the internet, and she has incredible trauma, obviously, of that experience, and she says it will hurt these people as well, and I agree. The demand for it is the problem there. Yeah. There will always be demand, but there can also always be less demand.
And you can shift the demand. I mean, you can help them reduce it, but I mean, those are discussions. I think we're going into very hypothetical territory now.
That's true.
To, I don't know, do animated child pornography. I don't know what there's.
Yeah, but
that's very philosophically more philosophically interesting topic than anything you can really pass by society.
That's true.
Currently.
I don't think this is the place or the time or place to discuss what we could do about it.
Yeah.
I think solutions will be found, but the main topic I want to focus on is
opening it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because we're also in no way experts on these topics. Probably we have thought a little bit longer about them, maybe because
these topics.
Yeah, but they're mainly our thoughts without a lot of outside input.
Yeah. What do you think would be the goal which we would want to see be achieved following years? I don't know. This is a thing that will be not. I don't think it will be something that will lose stigma ever in the time that we are alive. I don't think so. But I think it's important to go forwards with this thing and make progress. But what do you think is the ultimate goal, actually?
I mean, I would be very hesitant to make an ultimate goal. I can only make short-term goals because we do not know exactly what the best solution is. If it's trying to get the urges down or trying to do other things, I don't know. Or having them being treated by some drugs or something like that. I don't know what the ultimate. Probably it is something like reducing the urges in the people who feel them, and I mean, I think there's already popular demand for that to be more to make progress in catching child molestation rings and things like that, but that's only tangentially related to this right now. So
okay, I see. Well, I guess what I would hope to be a goal which we could achieve is that we at least open up to these people and let them speak and not scrutinize them for being who they are. I think it is our moral duty as a society or as members of this society, and honestly, also definitely in any other and every single other aspect I can think of, I think it is probably also beneficial for the society. As Alex already pointed out, there would be much less. Let's call it.
Occurrences? I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say a lot less occurrences, but there would probably be less occurrences because of the lack of the lack of stigma is not possible, I guess, but the reduced amount of stigma to the thing, and maybe it could also lead to damaging of the underground, basically, of this whole network.
Yeah, I mean,
if we work with these people.
Yeah, I think
I sound stupid, calling them these people. They are people like you and me. That's what I should have said. Give them the due respect. Yeah.
I mean, probably short-term things is probably having them being allowed to remain anonymous due to the stigma, but but in other ways trying to help them. Of course, no one expects you to feel completely unchanged in their presence or something. You can completely understand that there's a sense of unease.
Yeah.
Also, in discussing any of these things, because we are treading on dangerous ground, so to say, because our ultimate goal is always the reduction of child molestations, and if we do something wrong there, it's going to be very tragic.
Yeah.
So it's not a opening up in sense of being less rigorous or having less scrutiny when talking about it and being less careful, but letting the false assumptions about it and the and the very base reactions we feel towards it not guide the way we should think about it.
Yeah.
Because they're rarely useful. The base emotions we feel, at least in understanding any more complex topic.
That's more than evident today, but I'll come back to that topic in my later topic. Yeah. I don't think there needs to be much more said to this topic, but
yeah,
I think everything has been said already. It's pretty straightforward what we wanted to say with this whole thing, I think. Do you want to add something? I would like to end this thing with a quote otherwise.
No, I feel I've said everything, though maybe not as eloquently, but I hope that can be forgiven by the audience.
Yeah. Let's forgive Alex for not being a stuttering idiot. No. Well, what I wanted to finish with is a thought, and in fact a quote about from this AMA. From the person who created that AMA, he said, "A pedophile is a human being often fighting an ongoing internal battle." And I think that should be kept in the back of your mind. These people do not choose to be like they are, and many of them really want to change. This guy, one more PS thing from that, and then we can move on. The AMA guy, he said he would even consider brain surgery because there was some theory that there was a possibility that could be changed in that way somehow, somewhere in the forehead area. I didn't really understand why, but he knew what the questioner was referring to, so it must be some kind of something that is known to people.
Maybe it's something even as drastic as their some center for their urges. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, we don't know, but they're willing to do even that. So I think you should go into the situation with a little bit more understanding. That's basically it. So I think we finished off that topic, and we could cue the music. So that was the amazing summer hit of 2023. 23. Alex, do I start or do you start?
I forget. Shall we do a coin toss or something like that?
Yeah, let's do a coin toss. Do you have a coin?
Yeah, hang on. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Sounds good to me.
So
I say heads. Heads, and that means that I go first. Yeah.
But then you get to decide. That would be completely stupid because we already have the situation right now.
Yeah.
Heads.
I start.
Heads you start.
Okay.
Tails I lose.
Tails
I finish.
Okay. I have a really basic topic. My topic is, in a general sense, Twitter, and in a more
talking about with a non-Twitter user. That will be interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Hit with this hearsay, but yeah, okay.
Okay, well, then let's start it with the hearsay. What do you know about Twitter, and how do you feel about it?
Well, it's mainly a place where you it was conceived as something where you can just post a thought or something in 140 characters, and then people could, I think, reply to it or tag it or something like that. I don't know if these features existed in the beginning. At some point they doubled the amount of characters. I know about that.
Yeah. That's true.
everyone uses it to also for news and stuff like that, and then people can retweet things that I don't know. Donald Trump is notoriously famous for using it.
That's true.
And also there you can probably see its biggest criticism, that it fosters very toxic communication and extremely non-productive conversations. Yeah.
Actually, you basically know everything about Twitter. I have basically nothing to add to that.
Okay, we're done with that. No, yeah. But I mean, the thing is, I know about many people I follow on, I don't know, YouTube or listen to their podcasts or something like that, who hate Twitter and talk about the less time they spend on Twitter, the happier they are, so to say. I
can really understand that sentiment. Yeah, definitely relate. I can relate. Yeah. Hashtag relatable. What? That's the face I make when I relate to something. Like Goofy when he somebody hits him with a hammer on the head. Okay. Sorry.
I got it. But yeah, why do people still use it then? Is it a kind of chasing the adrenaline rush of getting enraged by everything? Or I mean, I know that feeling.
I think that's part of it. At least that's part of it for me. And to co-sign that statement from before, the less I am on Twitter, the better. I see so much awful shit on that web page. It does foster stupid opinions and people who co-sign those as well. I think Twitter is right now, and I realized this recently, but I don't know why it took me so long, but all of a sudden I realized what it was. Remember how Facebook used to be in 2010, 11, 12? Maybe even 9?
People reply to Windows videos.
No. That's not what I mean. I mean the content of the people. Nowadays, well, at least the people who I follow, I don't read I don't see any complaining, any venting. Maybe that's different for some of you listeners, but I thought it's strange how that disappeared. And I thought how good that it disappeared. And then I noticed that they didn't disappear. They went to Twitter. And it's even worse there. The whole thing about fake news and stuff like that, that's one thing. But what enrages me the most are edgy opinions about very
controversial topics?
Controversial topics, yeah.
So not uncontroversial, but controversial.
No, controversial topics. For example, this is a recent example. Vegan Twitter. I'm kind of, well, not anymore, but I used to kind of follow what was happening there. And there was this guy. I won't name him because I don't want to throw him under the bus, but some guy was accused of harassing women. And this woman posted this, and she posted 4, I think, screenshots. And I thought, okay, let's read those screenshots and see what really happened. And lo and behold, these are screenshots with other people, not with the person who's being accused. Other people who are accusing him of doing it. 4 different people accusing him of doing it. So, no proof. And then I said, yeah?
I mean, Bill Cosby.
Thanks.
Bill Cosby's the evidence for Bill Cosby is kind of similar. It just is more people, so it does at some point.
Is that really true? Is that really true?
I mean, all of these things are ages ago. I don't think there's any proof, any physical proof or evidence for anything. It's just that lots of women have come forward in the last few years.
But hasn't he been arrested?
I don't know what is exactly what has happened to him.
Okay, yeah, well, this is weird to me now. Let's just not talk about that topic anymore, because I think this will cloud this topic. But this is something maybe we should dig into on another show episode, because that sounds however it sounds.
I mean, in legal sense, it probably makes little difference, but in the societal sense, how you should the probability of it having happened, it does increase if there's more with the amount of people who make a claim that it has happened.
Yes,
just I want to give that, though it still doesn't warrant necessarily that you should assume that it happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's I'm saying as well. I don't know this person. Maybe he did these things. What goes on my nerves is people jumping on the bandwagon without proof. And, I think many people do it in a rush of a rush of emotions comes to their head, and they think, okay, I need to stand up, and I need to do the right thing and share this, without knowing what they could potentially be doing to the potential real victim. Hey, just saying it like it could be, but
potentially
there's this
wrongfully accused. You mean
potentially wrongfully accused person? Of course, it could also be the case that both parties believe that they are right, which is probably not possible, but not possible that they both are right, but it is possible that both believe that they are right.
Yeah.
Basically, the sentiment in the comment section of that tweet was, believe the victim, no matter what. And I think that's a slippery and dangerous slope, because it is not always... isn't always...
That's a bit of the mantra of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, or maybe it's a perfect word, woke culture, that we make very bite-sized slogans about these kinds of issues. If you actually believe that you should believe all women automatically, then you have probably lost your mind, because it's obviously not true that you always just should assume that it's correct. You should judge the situation more on its merits and not make premature judgments. And I think not dismissing it out of right away, but also giving it due diligence before you accept it as truth. I mean, you can support them without accepting that it was true if they have distress or anything.
That's very true, and that is a thing that could and should be done. One guy said he believes the victims because if they're wrong, if they lied, then he can go back and change and believe the supposed perpetrator. But he said it and made it sound like it's a logical choice, but that's really the same thing as if it were the other way around. So if he would believe the other guy, which also is a thing that maybe you shouldn't do. You should take these claims serious. If they are claims, you should take them seriously. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. You should just not jump to conclusions. Yeah. But, Twitter has lots of these kinds of things. Another thing I read recently, in comparison to that incident, very harmless. It was basically a lady who posted... I think it was a quote of some person who said some kind of misogynist stuff, and it truly was misogynist. I would say it was reprehensible what he said, and then she said, "Men are trash." And people could just say, okay, I'm gonna be the bigger person here, and not take that on face value, because obviously men aren't trash. At least all men aren't trash. But I think it's
Not
kind of
all
a
men
danger.
are trash. You mean you said all men aren't trash? That would mean that no man is trash. You mean not all men are trash?
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know.
You fucked up my train of thought, man. Thanks. No. Okay. What I think is dangerous is to spread these well, what would you call them? Buzzwords or buzz sentences.
Yeah,
Men are trash.
Bite-sized slogans, I call them.
Yes, these
Yeah.
slogans. Yeah,
I don't know what to call.
because if the solution that if the goal one wants to reach is equality and less abolishment of the mistreatment of women or sexism, then it is not very clever to offend or basically diss the people who could be on your side. You know, I don't think you are doing yourself a favor if you go around saying men are trash.
It's usually never smart to create an us versus them mentality.
No.
Even if you deal with actual intellectual opponents here, the people who think it's great that sexism exists.
Yeah, these people are stupid.
Yeah, these people are definitely stupid. But
but what I don't understand is how reacting to men are trash negatively is actually a negative trait. That's what Twitter is all about.
Well, we'll come to discuss something like this in my part of the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it about? Well, maybe I could ask you a question, and you say stop if it goes too much into your question, or if it isn't, you can just answer it. Does it have to do with finding out the power status of the discriminator? Basically, if you are discriminating, you can only no. Let's start the sentence differently. You cannot be discriminated on if you are in a social status above the person who is discriminating.
Yeah,
Is
if
that-
you. No, I'm not. That's not the topic I'm going to deal with.
That is
So-
what the sentiment is.
Basically,
on
whether
Twitter.
women
woke
can
Twitter.
be whether a woman can be sexist or whether a black guy can be racist or whatever.
Yeah,
Those kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also a thing you could go deeply into, or it's actually quite easy to easily dismissible.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, the thing is, here
silly.
you use a different definition of what racism is, but kind of treat it as if it still had the first definition. So, in terms of if you talk about racism by outcome, so systemic structures that disadvantage certain groups of people. Then if you're not are not disadvantaged, but if you are in this group that is disadvantaged, then you can not disadvantage those who aren't disadvantaged, because that wouldn't be possible. So you cannot be racist in that sense. But if you there still exists the old definition of the word sexism, like intentional, explicit sexism, racism. I don't know what I was talking about now.
This was sexism, but you talked about racism.
Yeah.
I think it was I said discrimination, and there are. You are right. There are distinct definitions for these words. We cannot act as if these definitions don't exist.
Yeah. So if you mean only the systemic issue, that it's not the voluntary thing, the explicit form, then please make it clear, because most people don't operate under this definition, and it's not obvious why this is a better definition, because explicit sexism or racism is still the worst one of them all. So if anyone commits that, then they should, even if they belong to a group that's disadvantaged or something, having these kinds of attitudes is still the worst, at least on a personal level, attitudes you can have. You can, and it's rightfully deserves to be called out. So, yeah. And this is you can't throw the entire Twitter under the bus. It's just the people I have on my feed. You know, basically what you get on your feed is the people you follow, plus the people who you follow like, or also follow. Sometimes you can read, this guy and this guy, they follow this person, and then they see the most current tweet or something. And sometimes, I guess, they also do it by hashtags, but I'm not really sure. I'm just scrolling through, not really paying that much attention. Do you ever post anything on Twitter, or do you more reply to stuff, or do you ever engage?
I used to post a lot of shit, basically just stupid sentences. Dumb words followed by even dumber words, and then this basically just a spoof site. And I also share a lot of animal abuse, not to endorse it, to condemn it.
Hey, I promote animal abuse here. Look at this, it's great. The steak is gonna be extra yummy after this.
But when I see some person I find interesting, there's this guy called John Oberg, who is actually American. I think he pronounces his name Oberg.
Oberg? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He posts a lot of interesting clips and tweets, and I follow him, and then I automatically follow a lot of people who are also vegan Twitter somehow now. And that leads me to woke Twitter. And woke Twitter is vegan Twitter and woke Twitter are not that different. They are pretty hard to bear. And I'm really considering to deleting this app. It is dragging my mental state down.
I think Twitter is the place where most of woke ideas are fostered. I think, right? I don't know. I mean.
Could very well be.
I don't think that necessarily veganism and wokeism are that's alike, but probably there's a large intersection. I think many people who are vegan are also belong to the other category. You know? It doesn't even deserve a name.
Well, I think it's kind of unfair to call it woke at Twitter, because being woke is, I think, a thing that is something to be strived to become. You know, it's beneficial for society to be woke, but what the meaning of woke? No, I don't like the term either. But the meaning of it's honorable, and I just think all people have a different kind of interpretation of the word.
Woke with a capital W is pretty pretty homogeneous group, I would say.
I guess.
There's this cliche of wokeness that is omnipresent, and which takes all the principles you hear to the 100th power, to the extreme.
to 11.
Oh.
Yeah. Spinal Tap.
And but generally, I mean, it's the most annoying thing is that you struggle to call yourself these things because of the the baggage attached to these words.
Definitely. But definitely. That's I think that's also a problem. I think people who are let's just take the USA for example. People who are pretty much on the fence, potentially even on your side. If you have these woke with a capital W slogans and you bombard these people with them, they get sick of you and they will do something just to spite you.
Yeah.
And I think
Which
many
is
people...
stupid, of course, but...
It is stupid.
Human.
No. I'm not saying that it is clever. Yeah, it is human. And this is the effect of what you're doing. And I'm directly talking to woke Twitter right now. Hi, woke Twitter. What's up?
We're going to in my topic see an example of what such a wokity can look like.
Okay, well, I think we can just stop the topic right here. I only wanted to basically throw in a general topic just to have us talking about many different topics, basically.
Yeah.
I think Twitter is like a melting pot of bullshit and pretty good stuff as well.
There was one thing I wanted to add about the toxicity of Twitter is have you ever heard about Steven Pinker, the linguist, and also I think he's a psycholinguist or neurolinguist or something like that.
I don't think I have.
He's this very slim, tall guy with a white Jufro. I don't know.
Maybe.
He.
Wait. Steven Pinker.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have internet.
I like his work and his arguments and ideas. I follow him.
I've not seen him ever.
Apparently, he wrote this book, "The Battle Angels of Our Nature," which we talked in one episode about the decline of violence and everything. You remember that book? And also, he also talked about things like the blank slate, whether humans are blank slates. So if basically everything is all our attitudes and behaviors can be socially engineered, or if there's some innate hardware we have. And he also wrote about our language center, how we perceive languages. So he goes across the board on topics which are all kind of interesting. But he also retweets stuff about, for example, relevant to the last episode's topic, Black Lives Matter stuff, or like police shootings or police treatment of the African Americans, and so he's often gives counter arguments to what often is claimed, which are always very insightful. And he's part of the American Linguist Society. And about a month ago or something, there was an open letter on Twitter where they took some of his tweets, completely quote mined him, so took quotes which in the next sentence would be put into context as something of the opposite of what it's kind of almost like, I would never say, quote, "I hate Jews," and then they took just the "I hate Jews" part and put it in there or something like that. But not that extreme. It's almost like that. 5 instances of where he's a sexist and racist and blah blah, and wanted him to and urged them to revoke his membership from the American Linguist Society. And had signatories from all of them linguists apparently, but or studying undergraduates mainly, but also some postgraduates and professors and stuff like that. But nothing came out of it because it didn't really add up. But
Lucky.
Twitter was used against him there. Because of this, he when you try to summarize an article or something in 280 characters, and the link makes up a part of the 280 characters, it's kind of hard to give a very nuanced summary of the topic. But So they were never wrong or anything, but I can see how you can, if you really want to, use these things as against the person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have probably said things today that you could just take and then go on a rant about.
You could probably say we are pedophiles.
Yeah.
You could just say, you could just cut out that part. Just the we are pedophiles part. Now again, I've said it twice. Okay, we are not pedophiles. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to really laugh about, but yeah.
No, actually not. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
but
Twitter can really is used in very detrimental
malicious ways. Yeah. I guess that's all we need to say about that thing. If you're not joined on Twitter, don't bother. It's a waste of time.
I shan't.
Okay. Next topic. Cue the music.
Hade jag alls öl egentligen?
Nej, bara vatten.
Okay. Well, we didn't talk about the beverages we're drinking. I shall open mine now for the last part because it's going to be a cupful, a bottle full.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
So this is about an
What are you drinking?
Ah, yeah. Algour Bubbly.
Okay. I am
Beer from
drinking,
hell.
I am drinking tap water from Nippes.
So I'm going to talk about an exchange between a person and
An animal.
as the person was accused of being a Nazi, right-wing incel, misogynist,
God damn everything.
proto-wife beater. Do you know who this person is?
Proto-wife beater?
You'll understand everything. You know who this person is?
Donald Trump?
No. Me.
What, you?
Yeah.
You have been accused of being that?
All of these things, yeah. You know, I remember.
Well, say all the things again. What were misogynist?
Nazi right-wing incel, misogynist, wife beater, proto-wife beater, yeah.
Okay, go on.
I remember in Finland, we were in Finland this summer, had a great time. When I talked about my exchange with a certain woke person we know about.
Yeah.
So this exchange continued and escalated extremely quickly, and
okay.
So I want to talk about this mainly because I want to point out in what way, for people who are skeptical of the gravity or how extreme wokeness can be with a capital W, and also how not fringe it is actually in a certain way, but also because this person used extremely dubious tactics against me, malicious you could call them. I want to also give my 2 cents to this, so if there's anything that comes against me about this, there is something I have said about it, and before anything blows up, which I don't necessarily suspect would happen, but it's kind of you probably the listener will probably think, what did I do that this happened, and you will understand, and you will ask the same question in the end. I guarantee this. So it will not, this question will not be answered. So there was this person posted a Twitter story. She about initiated this whole discussion about how they hoped that Jeff Bezos would have to work in sweatshops for after his death or something forever. How they hoped that would be the case. And then I asked them.
In hell, you mean?
Yeah, no, in a sweatshop. Said he would be
after his death.
Yeah, in a kind of, he comes back to life but has to work in a sweatshop forever or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay.
And then I asked, of course, I can understand how this, if someone just comes with this question, that you're a bit perplexed at first, but the reaction is still very weird. So I asked, is it ever good to wish bad upon anyone? How will you keep your moral integrity stable or intact if you wish bad onto people? And then they replied with, "BB, you can just unfollow me instead of provoking the whole block. Hashtag lifehack. I want to interact, to understand, have no interest of disassociating from people whom I don't agree with 100%. And then they wrote no heart smiley, and then I thought it was over. Then said, okay, it was worth a try, but since I didn't do anything problematic here, I think you are misinterpreting the situation completely. And then it was about them accusing me of wanting to thinking that people would find my questions interesting, whether I'm autistic, because I don't understand these questions, her replies. Yeah. So, which I thought, okay, she goes into weird territories, but she's trying to be fair here. So I was kind of, I'm not, I don't understand what it has to do with anything. And then she explained to me why she did it, because out of a sense of justice, blah, blah, blah. And I just then pointed out, okay, you have to be careful with your terms sometimes, because we live in a world where poorly worded things can get you into trouble, or can hurt other people even, and that's only when it comes to that's only for marginalized groups, of course, and not you can always punch up, so to say, which I thought was a weird sentiment. And then I thought it was over. Then I got 5 videos, all belonging to the same clip, but split up because of how Twitter works, of videos that were instantly deleted. So I cannot, we wasn't able to go back to them after that. But they were basically about how if you use a certain sentence it's stupid to take it literally. Of course, in everyday use, you don't mean everything 100% literally. And then I said, yeah, that's true, but there's also you can't go all the way with that, because if you're too careless with your words, then you will emotionally taint the discussion. I said emotionally taint. Yeah. And then I got a reply about something where some very woke person talked about. She quoted some Wikipedia article about brain sizes of women, and how they're in especially the logical regions of the brain, how they're larger for women than for men or something. And then they ended the video with, if a guy ever calls you emotional, then just say to them, sorry that my brain is larger than yours. So she basically sent me this video to low-key insult me, but just using other people's words. And then I said, I don't see the connection between these videos, because I never said that she was being emotional. I said that if you're too careless with your language, then it will emotionally taint the subject. Not the same thing. Then I was a bit pissed off about that point, and asked if she always does like that she accuses people of being something and then doesn't provide evidence and just is silent about it. And then she thought it was funny and hilarious. And then she added, you constantly give this incel right-wing MRA vibes of yourself.
What is MRA?
Men's rights activist.
How do you do it?
I have no idea. She accused me of demanding that she reply to me, which I never did. No way can be taken from the exchange that I demanded it from her in any way. Then she told me that she would post this change on her Instagram story. I then asked her to keep me anonymous if she wants. She felt the need to do that, and she said no, I will not do that. But she ended up doing that, and was even friendly enough. I don't know if you call it friendly enough to send me screenshots from her exchange, from replies that she got about it, to show me how wrong I was and how obviously toxic I am. And it was, of course, about me being too demanding that I get a reply right away. It was very confusing because they took it from quotes which weren't even there. Or they also read these things into it without me knowing in any way how that could have occurred. Then in the end, after she sent me these things, she told me that I should get well soon. This is not only you, this is a societal problem. And then I told her that the conclusions you drew are completely unjustified all the time. I have no idea how you come to your points, and I have repeatedly asked you how you come to your conclusions. And then she told me I should look up the words male entitlement and gaslighting. You know about those two words? Gaslighting, you know what gaslighting is?
Yeah. I know what gaslighting is.
So basically it was me, because I didn't understand how they came to the conclusions and asked because of how they came to the conclusions. I was gaslighting them because
she doesn't know what gaslighting means.
I didn't believe them right away that they were that their judgments of what I had done was true. Basically, I mean, gaslighting is basically that you downplay the other person's saneness, so to say, or whether they understand the situation correctly. And
I think it's more than that. It's lying to these people and willingly and purposefully
misleading
brainwashing them. Yeah, misleading them. Yeah. That's. I don't think that's what that is. Gaslighting. Okay.
And the thing is, I said it's pretty astonishing that entitlement and gaslighting are words that I could use equally as well against you. And I think the word gaslighting could work pretty well for what they are doing here, because they are what I'm supposed to do is accept their way of seeing it, because they discussed with each other how what kind of asshole I am. So basically, just without explanation, saying I'm wrong and insisting I'm wrong until I accept that I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. That's only brainwashing. There's no kind of convincing there. And then I made the mistake to say, please look at other topics than just intersectionality and critical race theory and everything. They're not the only and not the best ways to look at societal issues out there. And then I got the accusation that I'm undercover Nazi.
How? Why?
Because I don't think that critical race theory is the best way to look at the world, or woke culture and everything.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, you're a racist and you're a Nazi. Yeah, of course. And then she said that another person wanted to communicate me with me about this, because she was finding this boring. She said that.
Yeah. And then I said, what do they want to talk with me about? And about this exchange. And I said, this exchange only is about you and me, so it only concerns you and me. And then she lost completely. She said that she was on a gaslighting carousel again, and that this quote that this only concerns her and me was had wife beater vibes to them. So she posted that exchange, but not without making me anonymous. So with my identity revealed. So
no way, she posted your identity online.
Yeah, that deserves public shaming. She said, yeah. So
God fucking damn it!
And I said, okay, you made it, and I hope that's the end of this exchange. I don't intend to communicate with them because I see the tactics they are using. But the worst thing about it was that it was about 5 or 6 other people who replied to these stories and came to the same conclusions as they did, and because I thought, okay, they all came to this conclusion, so I'm going to look what are they often took the quotes, what they're basing it on, to say what this makes me, and it just doesn't follow at all. It's so I don't know. I can maybe see. That's about me. That should be careful which words you use. They said. Yeah, it's no. That only applies to billionaires. Only about to marginalized groups, not to billionaires. That they felt sorry for how much labor she had to put into me, although she just kept replying to everything, or even she initiated the discussion twice on her own, which is hardly me insisting to talk to her and her being patient with me. They kept using the word devil's advocate, as if that's some bad thing, because you also saw that and in the wake of the George Floyd killing, that's there's kind of racial gaslighting if you play devil's advocate ever, and so for some reason I think these people think that trying to make the position that you are disputing as strong as possible, that's some form of gaslighting or some kind of putting them down. It's like, you don't think too carefully about it. Don't try to understand where they could be coming from. Just accept it's bad across the board.
How would you ever understand a topic if you would only be doing that? You would not be able to understand a topic if you just trust in that sentiment.
You can only.
You will never be able to do it.
You can only do it if you accept every accusation that is thrown against you somehow. I don't know.
I don't get it. This is actually pretty scary. Listening to this, I'm actually kind of scared of her now.
The thing is
that I know who this person is as well.
Yeah,
and believe you me, she was not like this in the past. Quite the opposite.
The thing is that the fact that they all saw the same things in things I didn't say at all. I mean, many listeners will probably not be convinced of that right away, and now think that there's probably, where there's smoke, there's fire. Some of them, but I think everyone who knows me would have a very, very hard time leveling these accusations at me. At most, that I'm a bit pedantic about when I'm discussing stuff, or not very polite, but certainly not.
You're more polite than I am. I can say that. Well, it depends on who you talk to, but yeah, you can be a little bit of a hothead sometimes. But most of the time, the way you discuss, you're very pedantic. You're very you go to the the core of the issue, and I think that's something that should be admired, not scrutinized.
Yeah, and the fact that all those people drew the same conclusions to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I can show the complete exchange to you, and you can also judge for yourself. If there's anything there, you could base this on reasonably. But the fact that they all apparently already were so into this mindset that they all just found these red flags and then immediately made these associations shows me that this kind of ideology is extremely contagious. I mean, and you can't converse with these people particularly.
Yeah.
And that I'm going to be a lot more pedantic now and granting stuff in these discussions. I'm going to be very clear where my borders, borders are, so to say. and what kind of things I'm going to accept in these discussions, because it's not. There's no give and take here. There's only take.
Yeah. Well, this is basically my experience from Twitter as well, but I never got into that kind of thing. I've been called a racist on Twitter as well, actually, because somebody said something and I said he just asked the question about the topic, and somebody called, "Shut up, racist." And I think actually it's just a question. You can't call him a racist for that. And then said, "Yeah, you know what? Your racism is showing too," or something like that. It's easy to be labeled as a racist in the current social media ages. It's really crazy. It drives me nuts as well.
It's kind of just finding some red flag, and then immediately jumping to conclusions. Not using that. Okay, maybe I should keep this in mind in the back of my head, so to judge the situations and then make an informed conclusion. No,
Yeah.
After 5 minutes of conversation, you know me right away, and yeah, they're living
these
at
are
the
pretty
woke
fucking
pole.
bold claims you made as well.
They're living at the woke pole, so to say,
Yeah.
because at the pole, everything from there is unwoke. In every direction you go. Same as North Pole, everything is south.
I think Dave Chappelle pointed this out in one of his specials. I think it's his third or his fourth one, or maybe even a second. I don't know. One of the last 5 at least. He said, "Feminists, please consider." I'm not going to quote him exactly. I'm basically paraphrasing, but consider that you need us on your side, and if you make yourself really unpopular in that way, and push away people who are actually on your side, he said the hit back will be much more severe than before. I don't think that may be the case, but it's something to think about in a way, because if you try to fight fire with fire, all you're making is a bigger fire.
Unless you know what you're doing. I mean, there is actually in firefighting ways of reducing the fire or directing the fire to a better place by using fire.
Okay. I thought I made it really a cool symbol, but it's bullshit.
I mean, that's generally still it works, the analogy. It's it's I don't know. It's not something you can easily remedy right now, other than just not giving into it at all, and being aware that this exists as well. So, just because someone claims to be for some social justice issues, it doesn't mean that they actually are. They're just making these things worse.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only that they are throwing away potential allies, because then you could also throw in, oh, well, then we never needed them if their allyship is so fragile that a few insults will... It's also just that the visions that they have, that... I don't know. It is as severe that if you say the wrong things, then you're a Nazi. So if you're then already a Nazi... well, there's no one there to help you realize your vision, and nobody. We don't know. There's no one there to. You can't get forward in any way, because there's no one thinking about it honestly anymore. Yeah.
Because I think that last point is very important to remember. Yeah.
If you have to be too careful to not have these things thrown at you, then it won't work to make improvements in these things.
No.
But yeah, so just don't accept these accusations, as I didn't.
Yeah, I think that's something that we hopefully are going to learn as a society also in the future. But at the same time, I hope the counterpart also learns to not keep on insulting people like that and basically dragging a name in the mud. I think that what she did there was fucked up, because to expose you like that.
I could have done a lot worse without it being warranted, and without doing anything really.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to also understand that maybe from a different perspective you could see, especially because we don't know each other and we can only suspect about each other's intentions. We got off on the wrong foot, but any attempt to bridge a gap, you were already convinced from the beginning that I had these and these and these problems diagnosed, and that I should cleanse myself from these before but I should rid myself of these. And it never occurred to them that they might be getting something wrong here, or that we might be misunderstanding each other or anything. It was always, we know this is the way we are perceiving it right now is the way it is. And
that's pretty much how I felt like when I became an atheist. And I think I must have been really annoying back then as well, as we talked about in the first podcast, I think. Yeah, that's you finally understand the world, and you want to tell everybody else how stupid they are. God, fucking damn it. Yeah, that's
were you able at finding these red flags all the time and everything, and say, you're just a religion
No. I didn't do it that way. No. I just well, if somebody said, but it's just a belief, there's the difference between belief and facts. You believe these, and
you know these, knowledge and belief.
Yeah, you know these, And I said, why would you believe if you don't have facts? And it's annoying shit like that. And I
mean, those are still completely valid points.
Yeah, I know, but nobody wants to hear that. If somebody wants to convert to atheism, I'm open to talk to these people. Then, okay.
Also, if they come in proselytism or something, if they come themselves,
you
to
can
talk
believe
about God.
Yeah, okay. If it's a toxic situation, then I'll step in and say you're full of shit. But you can believe whatever the fuck you want. It's a free world, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Most of all. I think we're done with this podcast now, Alex. I think we've been talking for almost 1.5 hours.
Yeah. We have went into lots of topics today.
Yeah, we did.
All in good fun.
I think I'm going to have to edit the third topic a little bit, though, because there were a lot of pauses in there.
Yeah.
But let's see if do you have anything to add to that last topic?
Be aware that the ones who claim to be for justice also can get things wrong. So it's not only the wrong side who's wrong, the other side can also get things wrong, and you need to be also critical of the other side. Yeah. Even if they're on your side in the bigger picture.
Yeah, you need to be critical. We said that in the last. I think we said it in the last podcast as well. You're not a good critical thinker if you want to take one side into consideration. You have to be equally as critical to both sides. That's what you said.
Yeah, you can only understand a topic fully if you know the sides, the positions of all of them.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can end this thing with a classic Kääpä Brothers countdown or counts up.
Classic switcheroo.
Switcheroo.
Okay, you start.
I start? Okay. Help!
Me.
Please.
If.
You.
Can.
I'm.
Jesus. Jesus.
I.
Hate.
Jesus. And he is me.
Not you. Not you. Not.
Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful night. And we will talk to you soon with a even more edgy topic than today. Hopefully. Probably. See you around.
Never disappoint. Bye.
Never disappoint. Bye.
But yeah. Yeah. She accused me of demanding that she reply to me, that which I never did.